If you have rest days built into your program, newsflash, you're doing it wrong. What's going on, fam? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another video. What is going on? It's rainy outside. It's like that misty, just kind of like hazy, quiet rain. It's a beautiful day for the Swole Porch, and I'm glad you're here. Don't forget to subscribe to my Daily Swole podcast. It's available everywhere. I'll put those links in the description down below. This video is about rest days. Should you be taking rest days? Should you have rest days in your program? And my answer is no, no, and the always popular fuck no. You should not put in your mind that resting, that doing nothing is acceptable. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, you can't lift every day. And absolutely correct. You should not be lifting, doing resistance training, doing intense training every single day. But what you should be doing is something to move you forward, something to invest into your body. See, fitness is part of your life. It's not something you do on the side. It's not just a hobby. It's who you are as a person. It's what your body is meant to do. Your body is meant to be stressed. Your body is meant to adapt. Your body is meant to move and twist and bend. Your body is also meant to recover. So I want you, with this video, to make that separation between adding stress and breaking down and recovering. It's not about resting, it's about doing things that are going to help you recover, that's going to aid the repair of your muscle tissue, of other structures like your bones, tendons, ligaments, even psychologically, for the next strenuous session. Now, this doesn't matter if you are an endurance athlete and you're doing a lot of cardio, or you're doing powerlifting, or CrossFit, or bodybuilding. In my opinion, this applies to all types of training. Now, of course, most of you that are watching, you're not professional athletes, you're not stepping on a bodybuilding or a fitness stage, or you're doing any kind of competition. Most of you, some of you are. So take this in perspective with your own training, with your own experience, and what you do, what you have found already to work for you. For me, psychologically, that mental approach has been why I have been consistent for almost 20 years, why I have avoided major injury, why I keep going and putting in effort, and why I never have to search for motivation, why I can build so much discipline, why I can be so ruthless and just in the gym all the time and doing something physically fit all the time and putting in effort. A lot of you are just falling off because you're burning out psychologically or you're burning out physically. Now, for me, a burnout is just a lack of direction. It's a lack of understanding. It's a lack of purpose. It's not that you can't handle it or your body can't adapt to it. It's that you don't have the proper things in place that allows your body to adapt, that allows your body to handle it. It's not about overtraining. It's about under-recovering. Are you doing what you should be doing on those rest days in order to benefit you, in order to add to your body, to fill your cup back up? Think about that. When you're training, you are draining your cup. You're pouring water out or coffee out. Don't do that. Don't pour out that coffee. It's getting hot out here. Woo! You want to be adding to your body. You want to be filling that cup back up. And you're not going to fill that cup up if you're always just beating yourself down, if you're always just crushing the weights. You should not be lifting 7 days a week. I don't even like to do 3 days of lifting in a row. I usually like to separate them every 48 hours. Sometimes I'll do 72 hours of resistance training, but then I give myself ample time to recover. If you're increasing your frequency and you're doing more frequent training sessions per week, you can decrease the volume so you're not breaking down your body so much. So there's also that give and take. So it depends on your program, but you should always be doing something to repair, active recovery. No rest, throw that out the window. It's active recovery. It's foam rolling, it's mobility, it's yoga. Those things are not intense. Those things are not overloading. In fact, they're restorative. You can do what Swolenormous X members, what my members do on my website. We do yin yoga. We do restorative flows. We do a lot of foam rolling, a lot of myofascial release. And some of these techniques you might be familiar with, but yoga does not have to be a power yoga class. It doesn't have to be something where you're crushing yourself. It can be deep holds. It can be very lengthening, inhibitory. It can relax and be the yin to the yang for the resistance. That's how I think you should be addressing your programming. If you are not improving with strength, if you're not improving with size, if you're feeling stressed out or burned out, whatever term you want to use, that's generally because you are not recovering enough. And if you are just taking off on a rest day, hey, it's a rest day, I'm not doing anything, that's not the right mental approach. That's not going to keep the meter running. That's not filling your cup back up. It's not enough just to exercise. You're going and spending all your attention, all your energy to beat your body up, to break down the muscle tissue, to create micro trauma. And then you just do nothing. Sit around and let things get stiff and brittle and petrified. And that's where those knots come from, that's where that stiffness comes from, and that lack of mobility, rotation, all those different things that can come from not addressing your active recovery, not addressing the mobility, range of motion, and all those inhibitory techniques I mentioned earlier with the foam rolling, yoga, massage, and all those things. If you don't address that, that's gonna lead potentially to injury or lack of strength output. If you don't have the proper balance around the joints, it's going to affect your strength output. It's gonna affect your muscle activation. So think about that the next time you look at your program for the week or you start scheduling your resistance training for the week. Look and see, what are you doing? What are you doing for active recovery? Are you approaching your recovery the same way you're practicing and approaching your resistance training? I find so frequently that everyone's so worried and so concerned about what exercise they're doing. How many reps? Should I push to failure? How many rest days between? How many? It's all about the resistance. It's all about the overload. It's not about the yoga. It's not about the meditation. It's not about the foam rolling. It's not about all the things that are truly the most important to keep you consistent because, hey, a great resistance split, that's awesome. I'm proud of you. I'm glad you have that. But it's worth jack shit if you're getting hurt every couple weeks or you're burning out every couple months because then you have to pull back and that affects your progress and that affects your gains, whether or not it's for endurance or it's for muscle size or strength or what have you. So change the mentality behind rest to active recovery. You need to be active, proactive in your approach, whether it's resistance or whether it's recovery. It can't be something that you sit back and watch traffic pass. You have to get involved, be a part of your recovery process. The more you put into your recovery, the better your resistance training and that active, intense training will benefit your body. I promise you, if you think about rest and you treat it instead like active recovery, you are going to see amazing benefits. If you have any questions, shoot me a message. You can check out my website at swolenormousx.com. You can use the live chat feature if you have questions about my program, about the yoga, about the recovery, about the mobility programs we have. Make sure you are investing your efforts equally, if not more so, on your recovery than your resistance and your intense training. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, and make sure you also check out my Daily Swole podcast. I'll put the links in the description down below and in the cards, and you can catch it on my second channel, Daily Swole Podcast, right here on YouTube, and you can subscribe to the podcast everywhere, Apple, Android, wherever you like to bang your ear holes with some knowledge cock. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. East Coast with the gang gang.